This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Gamefly. Coming up, we got a taste of Edgar Wright's take on Ant-Man at Comic-Con, so it's a perfect time to check out the Ant-Man comic.
Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad, Totally Rad Show, Totally Rad Show.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Totally Rad Show. We've got a great week today. We're taking a look at the new hardback trade, Ant-Man Season 1.
Then tomorrow, we're going to take some time to check in on our mobile devices with some hot picks that you might want to download and play to while away these summer hours.
picks.
Then on Wednesday, August 1st, it's Jeff's birthday.
Hey, it is.
Heyo!
Stay tuned to see what we got Jeff for his birthday.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, you can.
We're also going to be talking about Adventure Time. If
That's
you saw
kind of a
our-
birthday present
Yeah,
for
it
me
is,
right
right?
there.
If you saw our Comic-Con episodes, you saw the audience turn on us when we said we had never seen nor even knew what Adventure Time was about, really.
Correctamundo.
So we corrected that, we saw it, and we're going to talk about it on Wednesday.
Thursday, we are back for Radigore's fan favorite.
Indeed, and then Friday, we're wrapping everything up with a...
What?
Rad Rebus is Thursday.
Isn't that what I said?
You said categories.
What? Rad Rebus.
Teased.
You'll
Friday...
get more Radigores.
You will. Friday, though, Total Recall is out, and we've got our review coming for you.
Now, you should have known that we were going to be talking about Adventure Time based on the amazing Radventure Time background.
Yes. Thank you, Joe Steiner, for sending that background in. If you want to send in your background, you can send it to fans@totallyradshow.com. Ooh, also, I wanted to mention, I want to thank the awesome viewer who saved our Wikipedia page.
Oh, yeah, right.
Because our Wikipedia page, if you guys haven't seen before, first of all, we should thank any and all
of the
people who
worked
update
on
it.
it, yeah.
Is a comprehensive list of every single episode, our content, what we've done for
Yep.
the entire 5+ years of our show.
It helps us do a lot of wrap-up shows.
And it's super awesome and super helpful. Unfortunately, the fine folks at Wikipedia don't agree.
Well, probably a fine folk at Wikipedia.
Yes, and it has now been saved, and there's a TRS-specific wiki. We'll put that link down in case you want to check it out.
Awesome.
It's very helpful, and thank you all for everybody's help that's sent emails and alerted us to the problem and all that stuff.
Yes,
Now,
and
someone could update my Wikipedia.
if only someone could get Jeff his birthday gift.
It says, Jesus Christ.
Here you go.
Frightened.
Happy birthday
Happy
from the
birthday.
three of us.
All right. It was opened in shipping?
Well, I
Holy shit,
wanted
you
to
guys.
see
What is this?
if I could just...
Hey!
Did you?
Bam, bam, bam.
You didn't buy
You didn't
yourself?
buy one
Oh,
already
I
yet.
almost did.
I know, I was like-
almost did.
I was so scared.
Was that why you told me not to get that
No,
one?
that wasn't a good
Oh,
one.
okay. This is so awesome, you guys. So they got me a sound system
We
for
should-
my apartment.
You should explain that you were
Yes.
watching the Batman double-G
Yes.
on your television speakers.
Yeah.
Which, let's be fair, I have a pretty good television.
No.
But the
Yeah, but
speakers
all
weren't-
television speakers
And you were like,
aren't.
Yeah.
I'm in an apartment, so I can't have a subwoofer,
Yep.
and I can't get surround sound. And we were like, oh, get a sound
Yeah.
bar.
And
Yeah.
it's
Mikey
this-
found this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is by no means a
So this has, because you
an
also
ad
have
for this.
It
you
also has
have-
an iPad dock.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Or not
I-
iPad.
iPhone.
iPhone.
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Oh, here's
I knew there was a thing. There it is.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, check it out. So you can Bluetooth with all your different thingies.
Oh, I'm so thrilled.
Yeah, you're-
Thanks,
you're-
guys.
Bam!
Thanks
Way.
a lot.
Happy-
Although, wait, it does have a
happy
subwoofer.
birthday. It does.
It does have a subwoofer. You cannot use it. Or use
Subwoofers aren't. Believe me, I was in an apartment with a
Right.
subwoofer. As long as it's not.
Well, I'm on the 4th floor, and so I'm concerned about my people below me, like, getting
we
mad.
can always just unplug it and
I
turn
like
it off.
it. Right.
Well, there's a lot of dance music
Sub during
coming
the
out of this.
day and quiet at night.
This actually looks really
This is
cool.
going to be
it
perfect for my
sitting
new
on the wall.
Olympic coverage that I'll be watching nonstop.
Exactly.
From all around.
I was thinking you were watching the Olympics last night.
And today, and constantly.
Well, no, I'm saying without good sound.
Yeah.
Now you'll know. You'll be like, what?
It did.
How many French horns are in this place?
Seriously, I thought about that because it like shot the thing out. It said presented in 5.1 surround stereo, and I was like, not in my
Not
apartment.
in my
I mean,
apartment.
yeah.
I mean, this isn't true.
But it,
Well,
but
no,
it's
but it
pretty
does.
darn good.
It's got
Yeah.
surround air track.
Yeah.
3D surround
thrilled.
experience.
I'm excited to hear how.
Oh, and it's a wireless subwoofer. That's
Thank you guys.
great.
It's great.
Happy
Great.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh wait, should we do this? Coming out of Comic-Con, one of the biggest surprises was in the Marvel panel, this tiny sort of obscure Marvel character made a big splash. His name, Ant-Man, and Edgar Wright, who is directing the upcoming Ant-Man movie, was proving to everybody with his test footage that Ant-Man could be a very cool character. So we all came out of Comic-Con abuzz about the possibilities for Ant-Man. And luckily, Marvel had our back because they just released a hardcover edition of a collected Season 1 for Ant-Man. Now, the Season 1 sort of suite of titles has been a series that Marvel's been doing for a while now, which is sort of a contemporary retelling of the origins of these heroes. There's a bunch of them: Fantastic Four, Hulk, Daredevil, a lot of the big characters, but even a smaller character like Ant-Man got one. This one has written by Tom DeFalco, who is a long ago Marvel editor-in-chief from when I was a kid, and Horacio Dominguez does the art. Alex,
yes.
Tell me what you think of Ant-Man, of course, the story of Hank Pym, the eventual Avenger who discovers the Pym particles and realizes that he can both shrink himself and make himself large. He ends up having a whole bunch of different superhero monikers: Yellow Jacket, Giant Man, Ant-Man among them. But this story centers around him starting out as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I liked it up until he sort of became... Up until he got the ability to shrink and raise. And then when...
So like 3 pages in.
Well, yeah, it was a little bit longer than that, but it was to the point where he, like, you know, shrinks down and then he's kind of like trying to run away from stuff and all this stuff. Because, and it's funny that you said that the guy who wrote it had been a sort of long-time Marvel person, because at that point, it became very old style comic book. You know, the guy's falling down the like ant pit, and he's like, "Oh my God, my legs will break!" And then he lands. He's like, "Wait, my legs didn't break. Now I'm punching somebody. What? Maybe I should grab that rope." Grab the rope. You know what I mean? Like everything throughout the entire rest of the book was like, I'm saying what I'm doing, then saying how I feel about it. Instead of what I feel like now in contemporary comic books, we understand subtext. We understand that if you see a guy falling down and he goes, "Oh no," you know what I mean? You know he's thinking, "Oh crap, my legs are gonna break." You don't have to say, "Oh no, my legs will break from this height." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just became this very sort of like, I never kind of got out of that. Now it may have phased out a bit, but
the subtext of what it means to fall down and not break your legs.
exactly, it's written there. But so it was fun. It was interesting, but then it had a little bit of sort of like, you know, when he was talking about initially coming up with the Pym particle of like, oh my God, it would change the world of transportation and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Then he figures it out and was like, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm just going to be Ant-Man. It's like, what happened to all the like changing?
Altruism.
I mean, like,
I can
now
do more good fighting individual
one guy
thugs on the street
than changing transportation across the entire planet. So there was a little bit of like, all right. So I was sort of into the kind of concept, the sort of conceit of how it was all working, of sort of like him not being, you know, really into what was happening and very, you know, sort of psychotic in a kind of way. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I like this take. And then it kind of, when it became Ant-Man.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Does it make you more or less excited about a potential Ant-Man movie?
Same. Because this
Same
has nothing
in the
to
sense
do
of
with...
like, you still need to prove it to me.
No. I mean, same as in I'm excited because Edgar Wright's doing it. Edgar Wright's writing it. Edgar Wright's directing it. I mean, I think he's writing it with Joe Cornish, right? Still, or not Joe Cornish? Joe Cornish, yeah.
Are you hoping the movie has some of this in it, or are you hoping they go completely different than this?
I mean, some of it would be okay, but I don't expect them to have any of this in there because they wrote like drafts back in 2006, and you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, these are sort of old character that's been around a long time, and it's a retelling and a sort of reorganization of these themes, but a lot of the themes are inherent to the character.
Yeah, I wasn't worried because the movie, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think of them as having any connection to each other.
Daniel?
Except for the name of the character.
Ant-Man? Yeah, you didn't care for it.
No,
Could have told you that.
Raid.
Raid.
Though Pym is one of the greatest names
Yeah.
in all fiction, and Pym particle should be we should forget Higgs boson. You know, it should be Pym.
Yeah.
But I didn't care for it that much. But I did have some fun with the powers. I do love. I don't love, but I did enjoy riding around on the ant and growing real big, and he punches him as he grows, and there's cool. It's what was so exciting about Edgar Wright's interpretation of it with the size foo. This comic doesn't really touch any of that stuff, but there is fun in a different way with really embracing just being small and riding around on things. I don't care much for the helmet.
Aesthetics of the helmet?
Well, not even that, but I don't, but the controlling other ants, I feel like an arsenal of a million, but I don't know, it just doesn't do much for me.
Wait until they show up there.
I know, but I don't love that.
It's always been part of the character.
I know. So I just didn't care for it. I mean, it's very...
Well, let me ask you the same question I asked him, though. Does it make you worried about too much of this kind of feel for a film? Are you hoping they move away from the sort of trappings of that character and reinvent it?
No, because either way, if you look at the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, which I really liked, they embrace the comic bookiness and are somewhat tongue-in-cheek with it. And Edgar Wright would excel at that. Or if he eschews the things that it's a very comic booky character.
Actually, Hank Pym in the history of Marvel, not in this trade. This is, I think, much more an all ages book.
Yeah.
But in the history of Marvel, he has some real dark. He beats his wife at one point,
Interesting.
and it's a real sort of heavy story.
Well, that was the Avengers, the Ultimate Avengers, right? Wasn't that? Or
that was a
Ultimates?
retelling of that. Yeah,
That was really intense. Yeah.
But
Janet Pym,
right, for Janet, great name.
the Wasp.
Yeah. All right. So I think either way, I'm still pretty stoked whether the movie were to include this or not, include elements from this book or not. But what was?
Let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
I had a sense that it'll be interesting to see if they stick with the Ant-Man all the way through, or if there's
Just
applications of Giant. I feel like the climax of the movie could be he's like, oh, wait a second, I can also get super big.
I would prefer not. I have to say.
It's a hard thing to sell on film and not make it seem silly.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a way in which they could. If you look at the giants in Wrath of the Titans or any of those things, now big troll,
Or even Lord of the Rings.
That stuff's very cool looking now. It doesn't have to be. It could be like Gandalf in that room is a bigger guy, but
doesn't have to be skyscraper
or Hagrid,
size.
right? Exactly. But I think that maybe movie 2, maybe right at the end and movie 2 we have that, because I really think there's so much to explore with just that one property that I wouldn't want it to try and take on too much.
What did you think of it?
Well, I tend to agree with you guys. It didn't soar. It wasn't super fun. I think it's an interesting investigation of that character, although I wish it had gone deeper and more interesting. I wish there had been better explanations for things. It doesn't. I don't have a specific example that's slipping my mind right now, but everything is sort of just whisked away and oh, well, I don't do that anymore, or I spend 5 seconds looking at this and I understand it completely, or I thought ahead and I'm a paranoid guy, so I had...
Oh yeah, my favorite was, wow, it didn't take you long to build that helmet. After we converted my garage into a fancy, advanced lab, and I was like, all of those things should have taken months individually.
It's a shame. It is very, as you say, sort of traditional, old, young person kind of comic book style, and even the art, which I enjoyed, is very cartoon-like. But there's enough to enjoy, and it certainly would familiarize one with that character. And I think that I'm super excited about the film. I think that there's enough juicy stuff in the Hank Pym idea that can make for a real interesting film that could fit into an Avengers-esque universe. And I'm encouraged that it doesn't have to be silly. And I think, unfortunately, this comic is a little more silly than I would have liked. But it's and for the price point, it's not cheap. But if you're curious about Ant-Man, it certainly will educate you about his story, and it kind of makes it all cohesive and in one place. So. Mixed feelings, but that's a lot to be excited about for the movie.
Exciting. All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this. But first, we want to thank our sponsors, Jeff.
Oh, who is our sponsor? Our sponsor is the savior of video gamers everywhere.
Especially their wallet face.
Their wallet face, because your wallet takes a beating when you're a video game fan. You know that. You don't have to tell you. I don't know why I'm telling you. You know your wallet takes a beating as a video game fan, but there is a savior for that. It's GameFly. GameFly, the world's largest online video game rental service. They got 8,000 titles, new and classic, across all handhelds and consoles.
What does that cost? Like $6,000 a month?
No.
What?
That's how much it would cost if you bought games like we do every single month. No, they got plans starting as low as $15.95 a month, and you can rent 1 to 4 games at a time, keep them as long as you want. You can send them back with no fees. There's no late fees. There's no shipping costs. It's so easy. You just send it back to send you the next on your list. Boom, shackety, boom, boom, shackety. Also, let's say you're a PC gamer and you're like, screw those gaming handhelds and consoles. I'm a PC gamer. Well, guess what? GameFly's got your back there too, because you can play hundreds of PC games for frizzle with the unlimited PC Play. TRS fans get a 15-day free trial.
Gamefly.com.
There you go. Gamefly.com/TTRS, which stands for
The Totally Rad Show.
Tremendous Totally Rad Show. Right?
Cool.
Yep.
So do it.
That was fun.
Don't stop not doing it.
Stop not doing it. Roll.
Check us out tomorrow for some totally rad mobile games.
Today's Twitter question sent in with the hashtag TRSQ comes in from Mike Bouchard
Boosh!
at B of the 0 oosh 3. If you could have a catchphrase, what would it be?
Boosh!
Boosh, very good catchphrase.
That's probably why he's asking, because he probably
was-
has that.
Totally. I mean, mine's,
Oh, yeah.
mine's Scooch.
Scooch.
Scooch to the boosh.
Scooch to the boosh.
That's also your rock band name.
It is.
Dan's answer to every Twitter question from now on is just Scooch to the
I think
boosh.
mine has always been amazing. I even have a T-shirt with it on there.
I think that's mine that you
It's,
stole.
co-opted.
it's called usurped.
Yeah.
It's
co-opted
called
it.
usurped.
Yeah.
But hey, you gotta fight
Always been.
patents.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was gonna come up with a catchphrase, I would want to come up with something that just out of thin air, you know, like
Apple scrapes.
apple scrape. Yeah.
That's a gross one to me.
You know, like
like-
apples are grapes. Grapes are awesome.
I thought you said apple scrapes.
Apple scrapes.
Or like, well, that's gravity. You know, or something. You know, it's like.
That's so
That is
80s.
a
That
horrible
literally
sitcom.
is like the
That
joke
is
that
just
they
like the
did on
worst.
extras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the joke, or not extras. Yeah, extras. The joke that they did on extras.
That would be your like Urkel.
Yeah.
What
Well,
was
that's
Urkel's?
gravity.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Oh my God. Not the mama.
Remember Step by
There
Step?
were so many.
Step
by Step, yeah.
Step by Step, and there was the hunky neighbor or whatever.
Yeah, who like date.
Yeah.
Dan, I
He was in
think
Kickboxer 2
Yeah,
and
yeah,
3.
yeah. Like Sasha Mitchell.
But
Okay.
what was his catchphrase? He had a thing where everyone would clap when he came on.
Well, yeah.
Oh, Joey from Blossom.
whoa.
Yeah.
I think Dan, I think yours should be, well, excuse me.
Thank you so much, Deboosh.
Boosh.
Mike Bouchard.
Scooch.